afternoon, my stitchy friends. Welcome to the NeedleBugg. My name is Karen, and if you are new here, welcome, and I'm so glad that you are clicking on the channel and giving it a chance. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back for a visit. I know it has been a while. It has been a while since I have been here. And right now, I am trying to record with a cat underneath my stitching. So, we're going to see how this goes. We're going to give it a try and see what happens. But I think we'll be okay because I believe I have in the screen what I am going to stitch on today. Fred. Let me tell you, Fred is at 91.73%. And there are only 6,360 stitches left. So we are almost under the 6,000 stitch mark. Hallelujah. It's getting there. It is getting there. So let me zoom out a little bit and show you. Right there is what I have left to stitch. What you see, oh, cat left, goodbye. What you see in the screen now is all that is left to stitch. Not too shabby. We are getting there. Finally. Finally. Well, I don't know where he went, but he left me. Yeah. So, today I thought, let's stitch together for a little while. I really have not had much to say to make a video here of late, and really about the only thing I am working on is Fred. I've done a couple stitches on my Golden Kite sewing lady, and I've done a couple stitches on Monty, but the majority of my time, when I had stitching time, was stitching on Fred, because now that we are so close, so very close, it's time to get this guy done. I'm looking where my cat went. I hear him scratching, but I don't know where he went. But anyway, so let's see how many stitches we can get done today. And pull out your stitching and have a little stitch with me. But what I want to do, what I do want to show you is this. I am starting my threads yet again a different way. And I'm going to zoom in here so that I can show you how I'm doing it. And yes, it is holding. And no, they are not pulling out. So I only have, miraculously enough, I'm going to finish this color while we are here, because I only have 41 stitches to go to finish this color. And I need to start. Okay, there's my stitch that I need to work off of. I need to go over 3, and I need to complete this stitch here. So this is where I'm going to start my thread. Now, what I'm going to do is go down in the upper right-hand corner. Then I'm going to come up in the middle of this square. Now, all this being said, this is probably, I haven't tried it on like Lugana, So this is probably going to be something that is a way to start on 8 o'clock. Okay, so I'm coming up in the middle. All right. Now it kind of starts like a pin stitch, but it's not going to be a pin. Well, I guess we'll call it a variation of a pin stitch. So next, I'm going to pull it, but I'm not going to pull it all the way just yet. Next, I'm going to go down over here in this. I'm going to split the fabric where it goes between the two squares. Okay, so that I'm going down like this. Okay, so I went down in this corner, I came up in the middle, I go down by splitting the threads between, and now I'm going to come up, I'm going to pull my, when I can find the other end, here we go. I'm going to pull my thread through to leave just a little smidgen of a tail. Okay, just a little smidge. And then I'm going to come up in my starting corner. Okay, I'm going to do the first leg of my X by going down where I normally go down. And see, I can pull on that and it's not going nowhere. And I'm just going to keep on going. I am rather enjoying that way of starting a thread, especially if you're using Aida cloth. Like I said, I have not tried it on Lugana. I would imagine, though, if you're using a sharp needle that you can pierce your fabric threads, it would also work. But I like it because it keeps your back cleaner. And it's not, of course, it's not showing up anywhere on the front. So overall, it's going to give you a nicer back. Now, granted, I am not all about having my back of my work be perfect, because heaven forbid it is not. We all know that due to my stitching history, that there's all kinds of different things going on the back of my work. You really can't you can't say that it's just any one thing. It's whatever the mood is on any given day. And yes, I will carry threads. Now, I try to do it in a manner in which those threads will get stitched over. Okay, so they're not necessarily going to be all kinds of stitching and then the long carries running on top of it. The long carries are going to be underneath, and then the bulk stitching of, say, a color, the color with the most stitches is the one I'm going to do last, because then it will cover up any of my thread carries. So we're going to finish this color pretty quickly, I believe. No, that was right. What am I doing? What the am I doing? So, have all of you had a relaxing, restful, enjoyable 4th of July? Those of you in the States who celebrate that holiday, my daughter and her family were here yesterday morning. They usually visit with us the morning of the 4th, and then they go to my son-in-law's parents for a picnic and fireworks later in the day. So they were here yesterday for quite a while. My daughter brought me a Long John, and for those of you that don't know, Long Johns are donuts. And she was gonna have what they call a Long John cake made, but the cake decorator was a bit overwhelmed with orders, so she said, well, just give me a dozen Long Johns then. So she brought those, and that was for my birthday. So yes, my birthday was yesterday, the 4th of July. And now I am officially 73. But we had a nice day, and I got some new games, and the kids, well, my daughter and the kids and I had to figure out the game, but we did get it pretty much figured out, and we played that. It was called Trekking, and the version was Around the World. It was a fun game. Took a little bit of figuring out to figure out how to play, but it was rather fun. You had to use the cards in your hand, and you had to come up with the combination from the cards in your hand of how many spaces you wanted to move, and then you collected things, and you collected locations, and it was fun. I'm sure next time it will be a little bit easier, because the setup is what was really confusing for us. But once we got the setup done, the rest was, the game itself was pretty easy. But it was getting it set up that was a little bit of a challenge. Okay, now my last stitches here are going to be spread all over the place. I have 14 left of this color, and I only see 2 rather close to me. And one is down here. See, this is where I'm carrying threads. And another one is here. No, that's wrong. Wrong block. Here. So now I need to find 12 more. where, pray tell, might they be? Okay, let's go looking. So, okay, we have the whole chart here. Oh, I see them all the way up there. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only 5 there, though. Unmarked. Oh, good Lord. You know what? I that feature of unmarked in markup is nice, but holy smokes, it's hard to find them. It's still hard to find them. So they're up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that will still leave me 7. Now, I will also show you, let me bring my camera this way a little bit, what I've been doing to end my threads. Now, this one, of course, is a lone one, so what I do is finish the X and then come up where I'm splitting that middle There we go. So I'm splitting here. Okay. And then I'm going to go under this X. And I'm going to go down in the fabric again and pull that to the back. Okay. Just like that. And to give it a little more security, I'm going to come up on the side because this is an X that's all by its own self. So I'm going to come up on this side. By doing the same thing and splitting this. There we go. And then I'm going to do the same thing of go under the X and go down again through the fabric. Like that. And then just come up and cut that off. And you will, let me scoot you in a little bit further. There you go. You really can't, this is the one I did it on. You really will not notice that once those, now you see a little bit now, but once the stitches around it are filled in, you are not going to notice that at all. Not at all. So let's go back out. Because now, what I should do is just pick a spot and stitch instead of trying to complete this color and moving all around. So why don't we just do that? Because I could maybe come over this way a little more. And maybe go up here. Okay, we could do that. Up here a little more because the stitches I need to fill in are right here. So let's there we go. I think I can do those with this thread that I have left. Do that same start thing that I did before. I'm gonna come up. Probably it would help if I would switch my needle out to a regular tapestry one instead of this ballpoint one, because ballpoint ones do make it a bit harder when you're trying to pierce your fabric. There we go. Okay. So I need to zoom in a little bit more for you. So I pierced the middle. I'm going to go down on the side, and then I'm going to pull my thread through so that I just have a little smidge . Oh my God, where did I go? Did you ever, did I pull that? Well, that wasn't too bright, was it? You pull it all the way out. Let's try that again. Go here. Up through the middle. Down there. It's like, where did my thread go? Just leave me a little tail. Come up here. Go down here. Come up here. There we go. Down there. Now I'm gonna go 1, now normally I would be stitching two-handed, except I am at a place where it's a little hard to get my one hand underneath. So I'm just gonna go back and forth like this, and I don't mind doing that. Okay. Okay. And one more here. And then we're going to end the same way that I did before. Well, actually, I'm going to do it a bit different this time, because now I have more surrounding stitches. It's a little bright, isn't it? Let's tone that. There we go. Now that I have more surrounding stitches, I am going to come up a side of this stitch, and you can even come up in the hole if you want. But then I am going to work my needle underneath several of the X's on the top. And again, I've showed you that before. Now you can either go to the back like this, back where it belongs, and then just come front and clip your thread off close. And once again, you have no idea where I ended. Let me take you in closer. because it was right in here. And you can't tell. You really can't tell. So I'm rather enjoying using that method. Anything that I can avoid flipping my work to the other side. So now I only have 7 more stitches of this color that have not been completed. And I have no idea where they might be. Because I am not seeing them anywhere. Now I will say, sometimes when you're using markup, oh, I see them. There they are. Whoa. But I thought I stitched those, and I did. Except I didn't mark them off. 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I have 2. Okay, 3. 3. And they're probably somewhere that I stitched and didn't mark them off. But then again, one never knows. But I will find them a little later. And we will keep putting some more stitches into this young man. But you do know it will drive me a little bonkers until I find those 3 stitches. But anyway, let's go back over here. And I don't see him. But let's see, what area are we in? We're here. So let's work in this area somewhere. Let's stay over this way because it'll be easier. And let's do this. Okay. 159, we're back to blue again. And what do I have? Oh, I have a lot of this color left. To stitch, that is. I have 1,805 stitches of this 159. To stitch yet, so although when it's all a big chunk of an area, they'll go relatively fast. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So let's see. We did these. And we didn't mark them off from before, so now we will do here. And once again, I'm going to do that same thing to start. Like I said, I should just switch my needle, and once again, I didn't do it. But I am rather liking when I don't pull the thread all the way through. I am rather liking this method of starting. So, I need to come up with, Fred is going to be finished pretty soon. It's not going to take terribly long to be able to put this guy to bed and say, Yahoo, we finally have a finish. And I did it again. I pulled it all the way through with my thumb. So then the question will become, what is going to be our focus next? When you have so many things that we would like to stitch, and yet you're only going to be able to get so much done. So I do believe, though, that the focus piece, and that will be the piece that will need to be stitched, like this one, stitched on every day. And I don't know if I'm going to pick a minimum number of stitches that I'm going to do every day, or if I'm just going to say, you have to put some time in every day. And that will be Adam's stocking. And his is Heaven and Earth design called Snowman. So that will be for sure have to be stitched on every day. After I put some time in him, whether it's for a certain number of stitches or for a certain number of minutes, or it's just stitch on it until you are tired of it and want to move on to something else for the day, that's fine too. But just so it gets touched every day is going to be the criteria. Then I have two things that I'm stitching along with people. And the one is The Sewing Woman by Golden Kite. I'm stitching that with Heather. So I think that one is certainly going to be in the plan. And that's a stitch at your own pace. And I'm also doing, we're calling it Morty, or Monty with Paula, and Paula is doing the full size. I will put pictures in here. I will edit this and put pictures in of the stitch alongs. Paula's doing the full size of Monty, and I can never pronounce it correctly. Montmartre Spring. It's a design by Lushpin that is retired. Like I said, Paul is doing the full version. I have cropped mine down to something that is a reasonable for me size and reasonable to actually maybe have another finish. So those three are going to be top of the list. Top of the list. They are the three priorities for once Fred is finished. And right now, pretty much with very few exceptions, Fred is getting all the attention. See, and this is where I get stuck. On several levels, get stuck. I enjoy stitching along with the people that I'm stitching along with, that I have committed or made that commitment to. However, in my heart of hearts, I am a one-at-a-time stitcher. Predominantly, the reason that I have multiples going was so that I had some variety to stitch in making my videos, because I thought, oh, people don't always want to see the same old all the time. However, I do better, I think, in accomplishing things when I stitch one at a time. So that's my dilemma. I would love to hear thoughts of you folks on, do any of you have the same problem? As far as watching videos, do you prefer to see multiple projects or to see just the same one? Is that okay? Because I tell you what, when I focused strictly on Stitcher's Retreat and really didn't stitch anything else but Stitcher's Retreat, that is when I really motored along and got her done. The past couple weeks, I have stitched. Yes, I stitched a little bit on the Sewing Woman and I stitched a little bit on Monty, but 90% of my stitching time has been on this, and you can see the progress that's been made. When I go between between projects, my dilemma of the day is, Okay, which one do I want to stitch on? Do I want to do this, or do I want to do that? Or do I want to do something totally different anyway? Or do I want to just focus on friend? All kinds of, it's like if I have too many things and I have those options, it's hard to make a decision on what to stitch on. If I say, okay, I'm going to work on this project until it's done, I'm more likely to spend the time and get it done. I don't know, my head just gets, it's just the way my head works. It likes to focus on one thing, and let's work on getting that one thing accomplished. And then we can move on to the next task. But in looking at making videos and from the audience standpoint, what is it that you folks prefer? Do you prefer people that have multiple projects to show and to share progress on multiple things? Or are you perfectly okay with having a project and then just following the progression of that project? And that, when I think back, that's pretty much what I did with Stitcher's Retreat. Most of my videos we were stitching on Stitcher's Retreat, and you followed my working on that and getting it finished. So I'm curious where what you all are thinking at this point in time. Not that I won't stitch on other things on the occasion, but I kind of like to, for me, I think I prefer having a main project, and if I need a break from that project, just pick up another one occasionally. So, opinions are more than welcome. And with that, look at that, I have rambled on for like 45 minutes. Imagine that. So, I think with that, and the fact that I am just about at the end of this thread, I'm going to end it here and mark off. Oh, that bunch was quite a few stitches. I should have looked at what my starting number was, because I had stitched some prior to starting the video. So I can't tell you exactly what my count was. I can't tell you exactly how many I stitched while we were together, but let's see if we went up. Okay, for the day so far, I'm at 239 stitches, and my percentage is 91.84. I can tell you I probably did over 100 stitches because my still to do is now 6273. So we are soon gonna be under 6,000. And also answer me this in the comments. When I get down to the last, say 50 stitches, would you like a live stream as I complete those? Or would you like just a recording and a countdown of the stitches to a finish? So let me know. So with that, my friends, I think we are going to say this is a day, and hopefully I will not wait so long to record again. And with that, have a great weekend, and I will see you all next. Oops, here we go. Got to change that. Okay. And I will see you all next time.